"I will continue to love you, even if it costs me everything," promised the alien woman. Her voice, resonant yet soft, carried across the quiet meadow, echoing a promise I struggled to comprehend. I had met Aelira during a research expedition to an uncharted planet, Zarin. The terrain was vibrant and teeming with life forms we had never encountered on Earth. Aelira, with her luminous silver skin, iridescent eyes, and flowing, hair-like tendrils, was a being unlike any I had ever imagined. She seemed ethereal, her very presence radiating an otherworldly warmth that drew me in. Initially, our communication was through gestures and crude sketches in the soil. Over time, however, she demonstrated an uncanny ability to understand my language. When she first spoke in English, her voice seemed to dance in the air, as if it carried the melody of her home world. "Your world is broken," she said one evening, her gaze fixed on the setting sun. "Yet, your heart remains pure." I didn't know how to respond. Her words felt both a compliment and a lament. As a xenobiologist, I had come to study her people, a peaceful, advanced civilization living in harmony with Zarin's ecosystem. But Aelira had captivated me beyond professional curiosity. She had shown me the beauty of her world and, in doing so, the flaws of my own. Our bond deepened as days turned into weeks. We would sit by the crystal-clear river, exchanging stories. She told me about Zarin's rich history, about the symbiotic relationship her people shared with their environment. In turn, I shared tales of Earth, its chaos, its beauty, and its contradictions. Aelira listened with a mixture of fascination and sorrow. One evening, under the glow of Zarin's 3 moons, she confessed, "I have lived for many cycles, but never have I felt this connection. Your essence is different. It resonates with mine." I felt the same, though I struggled to put it into words. How could I explain the profound bond one felt with someone so vastly different from me? Yet, it was undeniable. In her presence, I felt a completeness I had never known. But our happiness was not to last. The organization funding my expedition had grown impatient. They demanded results, samples, data, and evidence of Zarin's resources. My reports had emphasized the need for preservation, but they saw only potential exploitation. When I refused to cooperate, they threatened to cut off my supplies and recall me. Worse still, they sent a secondary team to secure what they called assets. These were not scientists but mercenaries, armed and dangerous. Their arrival disrupted Zarin's tranquility, and the once harmonious balance began to falter. Aelira's people, though advanced, were peaceful and unprepared for violence. "Your kind brings destruction," Aelira said, her voice trembling with both sadness and anger. "Why do they not see the harmony they destroy?" "Not all of us are like them," I replied, desperate to defend my species. I came here to learn, not to harm." She placed a hand on my chest, her touch warm and reassuring. "I know. That is why I trust you. But trust alone cannot undo the damage." Aelira's people, the Lamari, decided to confront the intruders with their advanced technology, which was more defensive than offensive. They hoped to disable the mercenaries' equipment and force them to leave without bloodshed. However, the mercenaries were relentless, viewing the Lumari's pacifism as weakness. The turning point came when Aelira's home, a massive, bioluminescent tree that served as a hub for her community, was targeted. I tried to intervene, pleading with the mercenaries to leave, but my words fell on deaf ears. In the ensuing chaos, Aelira stood between the mercenaries and her people, her body shimmering with an energy I had never seen before. "Leave," she commanded, her voice amplified by some unseen force. "Or face the consequences." The mercenaries hesitated, but their leader ordered them to attack. Before they could fire, Aelira unleashed a surge of light that disarmed them and rendered their equipment useless. The effort, however, left her visibly weakened. I rushed to her side as she collapsed. Aelira. She smiled faintly, her luminous eyes dimming. I am fine. But this will not end unless you stop them. Torn between my loyalty to Aelira and the fear of retaliation from my own people, I made a choice. I contacted my superiors and transmitted a live feed of the destruction caused by the mercenaries. If you value humanity's reputation, you will order them to stand down, I warned. The world is watching. Reluctantly, they recalled the mercenaries, but not before issuing me a final ultimatum. Return to Earth or face the consequences of treason. I knew that leaving Zarin would mean abandoning Aelira and her people to future threats. Staying, however, meant severing all ties with my home. As I wrestled with this decision, Aelira took my hands in hers. You must go, she said. Your world needs you to tell our story. If they understand, perhaps they will change. I can't leave you, I said, my voice breaking. Her expression softened. Our bond transcends distance. No matter where you go, I will continue to love you, even if it costs me everything. With a heavy heart, I returned to Earth, carrying with me the memories of Zarin and the hope that Aelira's love would inspire change. I spent years advocating for the preservation of alien worlds, using my experiences as a rallying cry against exploitation. One day, while watching the night sky, I saw a faint shimmer, a signal, perhaps, or just a trick of the light. But in that moment, I felt Aelira's presence, her promise echoing in my heart. And I knew she was still there, loving me across the stars. Years passed, and the tide of humanity's understanding began to shift. My efforts sparked a movement, and treaties were forged to protect alien worlds like Zarin. The memory of Aelira became a symbol of what we stood to lose, and what we could become. Then, one fateful evening, as I stood on the observatory's balcony, a brilliant beam of light descended from the heavens. It was a ship, not Earth-made, but unmistakably Lamari. A familiar figure emerged, her silver skin glowing softly under Earth's moonlight. Aelira, I whispered, my heart pounding. She smiled, her eyes shimmering with the same warmth I remembered. You kept your promise, she said, stepping closer. And now I keep mine. As we embraced, I realized that love, no matter how distant or improbable, could bridge even the vastness of the cosmos. Together, we stood as proof of what could be achieved when two worlds chose understanding over conflict and love over fear.